Okay, Naila, unmute பண்ணிடுறேங்க. I'm going to start my presentation. இப்போ நான் பேசுறேன்னா உங்களுக்கு நீங்க இந்த டைம்ல பேசினா கேட்காது. அதனால மீட் பண்ணிடுறேன் உங்களை. Okay, Naila, unmute பண்ணிடுறேங்க. I'm going to start my presentation. Okay, very good morning, one and all. Myself, Suresh Kumar. I'm presently working as a faculty in the Department of Psychology, American College, Madurai. I would like to record my sincere thanks to the principal of PSG College of Education, Dr. R. Vendan, for giving the great opportunity for me to share my experience during this COVID-19 period. So I'm going to share my screen regarding my presentation. I hope you can able to see my screen. So the topic which was sent to me was impact of COVID-19 on mental health of teachers. I think we all, most of you, those who are participating here are teacher educators and maybe related to that, associated to that PSG College of Education. Before begin my session, I would like to ask you some of the questions. Okay, I think many of you as a teachers, you can comment your common problems before COVID-19 and after COVID-19. Just you can type, you can send your comments in the chat box. Please type, what are the problems you had before COVID-19 when you are working in a college or education institutions, and after COVID, what are the problems you are facing now? Just type it in the chat box. Yes. I think somebody told me the voice is not audible. Is it so, Mr. Elil? Okay, I think there are a few responses, I think, except two. I think they were not given the proper response. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm asking you, what are the problems you had before COVID-19? The COVID-19 virus வரதுக்கு முன்னாடி as a teacher உங்களுக்கு என்னென்ன பிரச்சனை இருந்ததுன்னு நீங்க டைப் பண்ணுங்க. உதாரணமா ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் இருந்தது, ஓவர் ஒர்க்லோட் அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லுவோம் இல்லைங்களா? Likewise, what are the problems you had in your working place? Just type it in the chat box. I hope everyone is having the very good time management is the problem. Yes, Shobha, so given the time management was a big problem even before COVID-19, after COVID-19 also. There are many of them, they are not able to cope up with the time management. Yes, any other? If you want to share your points, you can unmute yourself and then you can say that say also. Yes, before COVID-19 and after COVID-19. You can record both. Only two responses. I think many of you are not comfortable with using technology, I think so. Anyhow, it's okay. I will proceed. So I would like to start from what is COVID-19, when this pandemic was announced. In January 2020, there is a market called Wuhan in China. That market, the virus was identified and the spread was very huge. And WHO announced that the outbreak of coronavirus is uncontrollable. There is a high risk is there in that virus also they found. And in the month of March, they announced to the world that it is not a epidemic, it is a pandemic. Epidemic is a particular period, it will spread and then it will stop. It will not go to around the world. But pandemic means throughout the world, the problem will be persisting. So that is why we call it a pandemic. And now the topic, what I'm interested here, what I'm going to share here is on teachers before and after, what are the problem they had, the mental health component only I'm going to speak about. And here you can see that the teachers before COVID-19, they were in the classroom, they are face-to-face in interacting with the students. Okay, you can see in the first picture, you can see the teacher will be there, the students will be there, you can interact with them face-to-face. But after COVID, it is not possible because the government is announced that physical distancing or social distancing we have to follow to curtail the spread of coronavirus. Okay, due to that, because of that, we are not. There are many institutions, even that wherever the more crowd is possible to assemble, there the government announced that should be prohibited. That's why there is no education institutions that are open, and they are expecting more days to open the institutions. And there are a lot of processes are there. And recently, one study pointed out that in France, recently there is one education institution was opened, and they given all precautions. They made a preventive measures, mask, and all the sanitizers where they had during the first day. After the first day of the session, they found that around 90% had a problem. Okay. Around 90% students, there is symptoms of COVID-19. In that school, around 160 students were attended on that day. 90% just counted, around 140 plus. 140 students were found that they are positive, COVID-19 positive. So that is why many of the government is fear about reopening the education institutions. Okay. Now we'll go to that. These are the comparison of traditional classroom and modern classroom. Traditional classroom, you know that these things were happening before COVID, but after COVID, you can see that most of the education institutions are forcing the teachers, they have to engage with the students through online mode. Through online mode, they are asking the teachers to engage the students in online mode. One of the mode now we are attending here is called Zoom. Zoom application, we are attending my session. Likewise, there are many institutions, regularly they are giving the classes. And there are, the recent, my presentation, there is one of the participants who asked me how we can provide a technological facility to all the people in India. It is not possible because in a house, there are two students are there, one father is there, because the father is a teacher. The two students, they have to use the technology for teaching and learning. But it is practically not possible with only one computer or mobile phone. So these practical problems are there in today's. And there are some applications where very earlier it was on paid versions. For example, Google Meet. After this lockdown was announced, after this pandemic was announced, the Google Meet who come forwarded, and then they given the free version of Google Meet. You need not to pay any money for using Google Meet. But earlier, you have to pay, suppose, 1,200 for using all the features of Google Meet. Google Meet is an online platform introduced by the Google to engage the students. There is one more option is called Google Classroom. Google Classroom, you cannot have the video interaction. There, what you can do, you can assign the students to submit their assignments, or you can share your, for example, lesson plan. You may, I think most of the teachers, you will prepare lesson plan or session plan. You will share the lesson plan to the students. Okay. The next one is some of the roles were played by the teachers before COVID-19. I'm going to share with you all what they were done. I've given only few of the role played by the teachers before COVID-19. One is teaching face-to-face. Okay, they have to go to the classroom and then they have to teach the students the particular subject on the particular day. And what they have to prepare a lesson plan also. Lesson plan, session plan, it is important. I think You all know that those are in the education institution. They have to submit a lesson plan to the management. Even the principal, they have to submit. Why lesson plan is important? If they are prepared a very well lesson plan, they can able to engage efficiently the classrooms. That is the only reason. Because when they plan for 45 minutes, they will give importance to for student engagement as well as the teacher engagement. How many time the teacher can speak, and then how much time they can give it to the students for interactions. So these were the role played before COVID-19. And another one is before COVID-19, every institution and the teachers' role is, and they have to report to the management what they have done. At least once in a week. Once in a week, they have to report. And if the head of the department or if it is an only teacher, they have to report to the head of the particular division. And the documentation of academic component, yes, all the how many attendance they have to maintain, and question papers, answer sheets, and then records submitted by the assignments, daily diary they have to maintain. So these were the work they have to do before COVID-19. One of the important component at the end, examination. I'm given the only core components of teacher's role. Here is an right now we are in the crisis. There are many institutions we were asked to engage the students. We were asked to engage the students. So due to that, there are many institutions that are engaging their students and teachers through online mode, like Zoom classroom, Google Meet, and then WebEx meeting. There are many provisions are there. Now our session is on going in that live in YouTube also. Those who are not able to attend here, I can see there are around 20 members are watching that video. Even here inside is on 28. Okay, so this is the way we can engage ourselves for learning. And the teacher's role is here. There are those who are having the basic skill about technology, they can able to survive. Just think about the teacher who is not having well versed in computer or a mobile phone. It is very difficult for them to engage. And during this COVID-19, post-COVID-19, they are supposed to learn the technological skills. They are supposed to learn the technological skills, even if they are not interested or even if they are not having that phone. Next one is reporting to the management, because they have to get a salary from the management. So what they have to do, they have to report to the management through email and phones. Every day they have to send a WhatsApp message. What I have done, how many students were present today, what subject I was taught to the student. So these report they have to do if we are working in a private schools or colleges. Yes. And another one is that online admissions are going on right now. Earlier, there is an what they will do. They will go to the every home. They will go and approach them. If their student potential students are there in that home, they will canvass them and then they ask them to, can you join this course? But right now it is not possible. So instead of that, what they are doing, they are collecting the mobile phone numbers or email numbers, and then they are doing the online admission process are going on. There are many institutions that have started now. And recording the session. Suppose if they are taking the classes, they have to record the session and then they have to pass it to the management. Next one is managing the technology by using that online test. I think now you can see Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University and Tamil Nadu Open University, and most of the universities in Tamil Nadu, what they are doing, they are having the quiz program, online test. It is like online test, my MCQ. Immediately after submitting your answers, you will get a certificate. If you score more than 80%, they will give you the certificate. If it is less than that, they will inform you have to take again. And if you increase your score, then you will get a certificate. So these are the a new role of the teacher after COVID-19. And it forces the teachers, they have to nurture their technological skills. Okay. And next one is here we can discuss about the common problems of the teachers before and after COVID-19. So yes, we the teachers, before COVID-19, we had an over workload. Yes, we have to be there in the school or education institution at least 8 hours. Within 8 hours, you don't be there on 8 hours. You have to be prepared for that. If you are from 20 kilometers or 40 kilometers away from the education institution, you have to travel for at least 30 to 40 minutes. And traveling time and planning time and then engaging the student in the classroom, everything will be included. So over workload, many of the teachers were encountered before COVID-19. And stress, yes. And think about the teachers. The 100 students are in the classroom. It is very difficult for them to manage all the students. And some students, the behavior problem will be there. Some students will be non-cooperative in nature. As a teacher, we have to tackle all the students. And another one is very commonly we can find out a student problem. Students' problems are very common. And for example, groupism will be there, community politics will be there. One teacher having the favorable to one particular student, mean they will against this teacher, they will give all the trouble to the management. So these were the problem. And then there is an ego problem among the teachers. They will simply say that the politics in the education institutions. So, and another one is management is some of the management will be very cordial to the teachers, but some management they won't be. What they will do, they expect the teachers would work for 24 into 7. 24 into 7 they will have to work. So these were the common problems of the teachers before COVID-19. But post COVID-19, and many of the teachers in working in private institutions, and these problems are not pertaining to that those are working in government and government-aided institutions. What is the problem they are facing? Job insecurity is very common among the private school teachers. Many of them they doesn't know whether my job will be continued or not, whether I will be there in this job, whether I can get the salary or not. There is an anxiety and fear of whether I can get a COVID or not. If COVID comes to me, how I can survive. So there are anxiety and fear due to that job security, and another one is about the virus. So both the side they are having the problem. But on one side we can able to tackle. Think about if there is a trouble from around you, and the family after expecting you have to meet the essential food for the family members. Essential rice you have to procure. Father, you need a money, and how many days we can able to have the savings. Savings may be sustainable for most of the family in poor and then middle class family. They can sustain for 3 months. Think about if the lockdown continues more than 3 months, if they are not getting the salary, yes, it will be a very big hectic for them. It will create a stress among the teachers and hopelessness and helplessness. Even they earlier, if it is an everyone is working, you can able to get help from them. But now there is no even the same what the problem we are facing, the same problem faced by other teachers also. They are hopeless and then helpless. Even government is not supporting. Many of the teachers are saying that, and even the government institutions teachers are getting far more salary than the private institutions. Even the government know everything, but they are not looking into that. And lack of skills and interest in online component. I think we cannot assure you that all the teachers in online mode will, and all the teachers will have the skill of using the online technology. It is very difficult. You cannot say that everyone having the skill. I can say that when computer was introduced in the banking sector, most of them they doesn't know how to type it. What they will do, they use only one finger. Okay, you can see like this, they will type. For your name, it takes around 5 minutes to enter your name alone. Now they are well versed. Now we are in a situation we have to use the technology, but I can assure you, once this period is continued, all the teachers understand the necessity of learning the technological skills to survive in the field. To survive in the field. And I will tell you, if one institution conducting webinar or online classes, the other institutions are forced to take the classes. They are forced. And they will say that, why that institutions are engaging the students, why not you? Why not you? They will ask you, the management will ask you. And the management will think about their benefit only. But most of the, I can say that humanitarian institutions also, there are many private institutions, they come forward, they given the money, I can say. One of my friend told me that he is working in one of the private college, and then he told me, I'm really happy with that. When I was working in my regular days, they given the more workload. But during this lockdown period, they know that how we are struggling, and they given the salary on time. Before, they won't give the on-time salary. It may be 15 days or 10 days later we'll get, but now they're getting on-time. I think I have to thank my management. Such a management also there, but there are some management, they are not able to, they are not having the humanitarian approach also, even the COVID-19 crisis. I think there are many of them are still coming. Okay, I will going to continue. Here, so what I have given there as of now, the common problems of the teachers. Okay, before COVID-19 and after COVID-19 we discussed. And now I'm going to tell you that the impact of COVID-19 on mental health. So this is the presentation I got it from that NIMADS. There they given that these things. So what is the predominant problem, mental health problem among the teachers or any human being during this COVID-19 is worry about self and then family. Suppose if I got a virus. What will happen to me? Whether I will survive or not? If I had a COVID-19, will I be responsible for spreading that virus to my family members? So these questions will be there ruminating in the thought that will make them to sad and then worry. The next one is distress and then overload, overwhelming. Distress. They are stressed because of this COVID-19. And they have to answer the phone to the management also. Overload means, I think, see, I will tell you. Before face-to-face classroom, if you have the content for only 1 hour, you have to take a class, but you have the content for 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes, you can ask them, how are you, what you had, you can speak those things, but no one will watch. But now, think about in online, everything will be recorded. Not only by you, even your students can record and then show it to your management. See, this teacher is not taking the class properly. This kind of workload will be very common. And indecisiveness. We don't know when this lockdown will be over. We don't know how to make a decision, whether we can continue these classes or not. There is no clarity in thinking. We are going to see that physical symptoms, cognitive symptoms, emotional symptoms in the coming slide also. And difficulty in processing the information. We are getting a lot of information about the COVID-19, whether all the information we are getting and we are processing, we have to think about all the information is correct or not. We are not having that because we are getting more information. Even those are very close to us and then we believe them, they will send good information. They may also forward fake information. So we have to be very careful, and all the information you have to consult with them. Even once or twice you have to think about whether it is correct or not. And very commonly, everything that leads to depression and anxiety disorder among the people during this COVID-19. So these are the common impact of COVID-19 on mental health. And here we can see some of other impact of COVID-19. One is emotional imbalance. Emotional components, you can see that fear, anxiety, and denial and depression among the individuals. Here will be the definitely. And physical components, somatic complaints like hypochondria. They may not have the virus attack, but they may feel that they are having the virus. And insomnia, sleeping problem will be common among the individual. And loss of appetite, they may not use, they may eat more or they may eat less. They may eat more or they may eat less. So this is a very common thing you can find out. Because they are in the home, they will take excessive food in the home. And another one is financial issues. Yes, as we discussed earlier, loss of jobs will be very common. Less pay, insecurity in the workplace, negative attitude, very common. Refusal to seek help, even if they are having the symptoms of corona, they will not, okay, if I go there, they may be quarantined for 15 days. How I can interact with others? I cannot speak to anybody else. So they may not reveal their things. Low adherence, they will not follow the rules and regulations, guidelines given by the healthcare agencies and government. They will ask you to wear a mask, but nobody is not wearing a mask. And they are spreading the virus to other people also. Even the carelessness leads to problem to other people also. And social rejection, there is some discrimination. If you come to know that you had a positive COVID-19 positive, those who are surrounding neighbors, they will discriminate you. They will call you as a COVID-19 people. We are not supposed to call the person is diseased or victim of COVID-19. The person who affected virus, even it may be affected. No one is, I think there is a saying that the pandemic is no one is aware about clarity about the virus. When this will be end, when they are going to find out the vaccines, whether the vaccines will be successful for this, no one knows. So this is the first time we are experiencing the human extinction, the human existence in the world. And the rejection and social withdrawals are very common during this pandemic period. Social withdrawals are very common. Okay, so these were the other impacts of COVID-19. And here we can see that what may be the cause or reason for the distress. One is the inadequate skills. Communication. We don't know how to communicate properly to the management. If you found that there is some person in your area are prone to the COVID-19, you can communicate to them properly how it can be safe and secure, how it will not be spread. I can say that one news today, a man who bought an apartment in Chennai, He was, when the lockdown was announced, he was there in Hyderabad. When the lockdown was relaxed, he come to his apartment. He spent around 1 crore. The apartment association not allowing his family to enter in the apartment. Think about it. So the communication is very poor, and they have to say that how it will be spread, how we can secure. But inside the people, even there are many news may hear about that. Those are working with dealing with COVID-19. Doctors were not allowed to come to their home, the apartment. Okay. And interpersonal skills are very poor. I think they don't know how to interact with other people. Even we can say that manners, interpersonal communications are very, very low. And problem solving skill comes down. They may not solve all the problem, and there is no clarity in their mind also, which leads them. They may not take the proper decisions. And inadequate sources, as I said in the beginning, if you have the basic needs, you can able to survive. You can able to cope. If you are not having the basic needs, it's very difficult. And the family support we need. I think there are many cases were recorded during this lockdown period. There are many abuses were there, many sexual abuses, physical abuses. These were recorded. So we have to be tiny those things also. And we are not having access to healthcare also. I can say my son is not feeling well for past 4 days due to bacterial infections. When we were approached some of the medical centers nearby my village, they denied. No, no, we won't take cases with fever. We are particular only about COVID-19 patients. You can go and approach somewhere else. And then I went to Madurai. And Madurai, even they are having the restrictions. Earlier, we can go with 2 persons. Now, only one person, one supporter will be allowed inside the hospital. It is very difficult, and the charges for spending healthcare system is, I can say, the triple amount. It is not triple, more than that. And the inadequate coping strategies. And due to this COVID-19, that anger and outbursts will be very common among the people. And faulty coping strategies. Some people, they are looking for addictions. They may think that they can come out from the problem, they think, but they go for alternatives. Smoking will be there very common. Even they are paying more amount, they are practicing it. And Tasmak was open. Before Tasmak, there are many illicit liquors were sold in my area. I think we may not aware about it. Still, there are those who are addicted to that liquor. They know that where they can get. And there are studies, news are saying that hand sanitizer are having the alcohol base. So they are some of the people who drink hand sanitizer, and they had health issues also. And being dependent during this period, many people are dependent on others. Yes, we have to be. So these are some of the causes that leads to distress. Now I'm going to say that some of the symptoms you can check with that, whether even if it is a teacher or student or people or a parent, you can check with these symptoms. I think as I discussed earlier also, this can check these symptoms. Headache, any pain in your body. Okay, that is one of the symptoms. Low energy. For example, earlier you may be involved in all the activities, but now after this COVID-19, you feel they're very low. You feeling tired all the time. And check with that your sleeping pattern. Are you sleeping properly 8 hours or 9 hours in a day? Eating problem, excessive eating or less eating. Too much of energy, because of that overeating will lead to too much of energy. We don't know how to exhaust that energy we had in our body. And nervous habits such as nail biting, hair twisting will be that these common behavioral issues you can find out in individuals. You can check these things. And changes in thinking pattern. And they used to say the negative words themselves. Okay, definitely I will get a virus. No, no, whatever problem comes, that will come to me first. So this is the word you can get it those people. And blaming others for the problem what they are encountering. They are not able to control anything. They will blame it is because of you. If it is an husband, they will find out why. If it is a wife, they will find out their husband. If both responsible, then they will point out to the parents. If they are not there, they will point out the children. And trouble in concentrating. They are not able to concentrate for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And frequent negative thoughts. As I said earlier, frequent negative thoughts will be there. Definitely, whether I will get this virus, whether I will be survive or not. The next one is change in the performance. There are a lot of change will be there in the performance. Yearly they may perform very well, but after this imbalance, they may think improperly. And in the feeling side, you can see that they're feeling that for small thing they may feel big reaction they may exhibit. They most of the they feel unhappy, worried, guilty feeling will be surfacing, and fearfulness is common among the people. They are fearful because of the virus and the uncertainty of their socioeconomic status, irritability because others those are speaking this time. Earlier you were away when you are working 8 hours will be away from the home. You may not have chance to listen your partner, but now you have to be along with your partner. Whenever they say you get irritability, even the children are asking number of questions, and sadness and anger will be there among the individual, and the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness will be predominant among the individuals. As I said in the beginning, they feel lonely and rejected because think about it that one incident I can say, one case, she is around 85 years. So before lockdown, their children were, their son and daughter-in-law were went to work. It is 40 kilometers away from the home. On the 4 minutes, only they given the government on 4 hours come back. So during the lockdown was announced, they were not able to reach the home. That lady alone in the home suffering a lot, loneliness. Think about it. Here, those are with the family members. You have to think you are safe. These are the feeling common among the behavioral component. You can see that most of them, they even earlier they may be with the other members, but now they want to be alone. They will crying is very common among the individual. They show less interest. They will not participate in any kind of games the family members are involved in. Overreacting to the simple incidences and sudden outburst of anger. Tears will come out from them without any reasons. And trouble in relaxing, sleeping problem will be there. Spending a lot of time for daydreaming. Okay, after this lockdown, I can come down. This they will spend most of the time. And immature behavior they will exhibit. Even appropriate age, appropriate behavior they will to exhibit if they want to show the maturity. But this time they will exhibit inappropriate behaviors. And trouble in getting along with their friend. They are not able to make a phone call to their friend, and they cannot able to make a proper communication to their friends. So these were the problem you can see. It is because of the COVID-19. And your behavior, your thought, your feeling, and physical component. You check these things are surfacing in your thing. You can identify that you have the mental health problem. Why mental health is very important? If your mental health is good among the teachers, they can have the improvised help. They will participate in the academic activities. Even the workload is more. In the online mode, they will open to learn and then they will engage the students appropriately, effectively. And you can see the productivity among the students and teacher. The teacher will spend quality time for preparing the lesson plan, and students will submit their assignments and homework on time. And there is an stability in their cognition. They will take proper problem solving, thinking, reasoning will be very clear. And emotions, exhibit appropriate emotions to the appropriate place. That is why we call it emotional intelligence. If you want to be emotionally intelligent, your mental health must be good. Then another one is behavior component, and we can see that there are many behaviors, inappropriate behavior. It is because of that there is a fluctuations in your mental health. Okay, so these are the why we need a better mental health for active participation to actively engage the students and others. The next one is suppose if you are failed to meet the mental health of an individual, what are the problems we face? One is increase the distraction in learning and concentration. There are a lot of distraction will be there in the learning. Poor involvement in academic activities. We won't show involvement. Even before lockdown, we were, for example, 1 hour class we will prepare for 2 hours. But now, I think most of them will develop a procrastination. We won't engage ourselves in the academic activities. And then risk-taking behavior are more. Okay, we'll see what will happen. We will face the problem later. So this kind of behavior will be surfacing among the individuals if your mental health is not good. And these are the barriers for getting the mental health treatment as of now. One is lack of awareness about mental health. There are many people, even the adult, matured people, they don't know how to express their mental health problem. If they are not able to concentrate, they think that, okay, it may be something, I'm not out of proper food. No, there are many reasons are there behind it. You know what is better mental health and well-being? They have to aware about it. Then only they can able to say to somebody else, they can able to seek a help from others. And lack of resources. Definitely now there is no money in most of the family members. Human resources are very less. As per the government statistic, it's saying that mental health professionals are very, very less in India. In developed countries, for 10 members, there is one mental health professional. But in India, there are two professionals that are registered by the government. One is a psychiatrist and another is clinical psychologist. And others were called as some consultant and counseling psychologists. And many of them were, they are studied, but theoretically they are very sound, but practical, I can say that not all the persons were good in that. Who we can say that they are good in that counseling practice? A person who is open to learn continuously, then only they can survive in the field. They know the advancement in the field. And there is no facilities and then resources available for seeking help for mental health. I can say that there is a government norm in Tamil Nadu government, go to the medical council and see every hospital, even that rural healthcare centers, primary healthcare center, PHCs, primary healthcare centers must have one mental health practice there. But I cannot see, as per my knowledge, there are many institutions, even in the town or city, are not having the adequate mental health program. In Madurai, there are 3 vacancies for clinical psychologists. I'll give one example. But there are only one faculty is there, remaining 2 vacancies still not unfilled. And other that district mental health program and then other mental health practices, they are appointing psychologists. Still, those fields are still vacant. The vacant were not filled. So lack of facility, lack of resources available for seeking the mental health services as of now. And stigma. There are many people as we think that if you go and ask for help for our mental health problem, they may label us, okay, he's a loose. In general, they'll say that psycho. But think about it, unless we are not getting proper help at appropriate time, definitely you are going to suffer a lot than the person who is bullying, name calling. Avoid those things. They will not come for your help. We are the one we responsible for our health. And the other barriers are there, and then transportation, and then finding out who is the right person, and who is a specialist like that, who is a specialist for relationship counseling. So other barriers are there. And here are some of the strategies we can take it as to improve our better mental health. One is psychoeducation. What is psychoeducation? Very simple. Psychoeducation means to know, aware about what will be the cause for that and what are the problems we will encounter after that. For example, COVID-19. COVID-19 psychoeducation means you have to tell me what is COVID-19, how it will spread, how you can prevent, what will be the impact it will make if you get into that. So that is called psychoeducation. Psychoeducation means make them aware about the particular problem. That is called psychoeducation. For example, if it is an worry, tell me what is worry, why it is coming, how we can tackle. If worry continues, what will be the problem? That is called psychoeducation. Even it is for stress, anxiety, everything you can include. We have to make it. That is why in government school syllabus, you can see there is one class called wellness classes. Wellness classes will be there. Now the government is introduced. I think coming years, the teachers, we have to be, all the teachers, we have to practice as a wellness teacher also. The next one is in academic setting. See, in our home as well as in the classroom, if you want to be better mental health as a teacher, what you have to do? See, accept there is an individual difference. Individual difference will be there. Not all the students will be same. And you have to show the care to the children. And there is a saying that a question was asked to the students. Which teacher you like the most? There are 2 options. A teacher very good in the sound, he is very good in that particular subject. Another teacher who is carrying the student. I will tell you, the teacher with more subject knowledge will not be remembered by the student. I will tell you. A teacher who is carrying, if the teacher who come in the classroom will say that, had your food, are you okay? This single word has a more impact on the student than anything else. And the same way, if you ask these things, the students will reciprocate. Sir, are you okay? See, these things will make us okay. We need to be healthy because there are somebody is caring for us. And we have to be very consistent. Be consistent in the means in the classroom. Don't when you give the instructions or rules and regulations implementing in the classroom, you have to be very consistent. When you break the rules, and then students will be labeled, okay, he will say, he will assign the assignment, and if you won't submit, he will not bother about it. And don't punish the students. Don't punish the students. Instead of that, what you can say, you can praise the good quality and then say that if you, how you can correct your problem. This is the way we have to engage. Okay, if you scold the student, and I think many of you know that the student will be suffer a lot. And the corporal punishment, there is an, I think you all know that the teachers are not supposed to do that corporal punishment. They not only striking them with the sticks or in the bare hand, verbally. So when you read that, we have to be very cautious as a teacher. And I will tell you, in neuro-linguistic program, what they are doing, what you utter outside, what you say, you will become that. When you say you will become a moron, you will become a moron. When you say you will be doing good, you will become a very amazing person in future. Not only that person will become a good, we are also going to become a good. The studies are saying, what you say, that you will become. Not even me, even Buddha also said. So be positive words in the classroom. Not only make them to happy, it will make us also happy. See, we are social animals as our teachers. We are social animals. I am okay, you are okay. That is a principle by Eric Berne. Transaction analysis is there. If I say you are good, he will say I am good. And if you blame me, and the person looking for me to the time to find out my mistakes. Yes, and when we have the habit formation, the studies are saying that a particular habit will be formed 21 days if you practice that particular thing. And there are many organizations who come forward during this crisis time, how we can engage ourselves for better mental health. I can say, there is, and we are going to face a serious problem in future. Most of the studies conducted by leading organizations, they said that the biggest problem after this crisis is a mental health problem. The mental health problem is the biggest problem. As a teacher, I think you are studying education. Education means modification of behavior. Psychology is study of behavior. Okay, if you want to climb as a teacher, educationist, you must be climb as a psychologist. You must be a psychologist. Then only you can able to modify the behavior. So in psychology, we'll study the behavior. In education, you have to modify the behavior as the group members. That is called group counseling. You are a group counselor. Okay, and the behavioral changes we have to cultivate, that positive lifestyle we have to develop in an individual by ourselves as well as the classroom, because the students will listen the teacher's words rather than the parents. My teacher told me I will do that. Yes, they listen more than teachers and their parents. So you have to be ideal role model to the students. Okay, and whenever we are communicating, when you say something in the class, as a teacher, what we have to do simple and clear statement to the students, even to the management also. That is why I said the biggest problem right now, what we are having, the communication skill and the interpersonal skills. These two skills were that one of the 10 core life skills suggested by WHO. Even there are many people who may not know how to interact with the other gender. They doesn't know how to interact with the other gender. They use rude words, inappropriate words. Okay, these skills we have to develop. And another one is we have to be strong in emotionally as well as physically. So, as I said, we have to practice positive words in our day-to-day life. And relaxation techniques are very, very important. Relaxation techniques are very, very important. What are the relaxation techniques we can use? One is on listening music. Listen the music. What next? stretching exercises you can do, stretching exercises. And walk in your home or in your children's. Play with your kids. Okay. Listen music. And there are guided relaxation techniques are there in your if you are using smartphone in Google Play Store or iPhone iStore, you can go there and find out relaxation melodies or relaxation guided imagery. There are many apps are there. You have to follow the instruction. Mindfulness exercises are there. That is very good for improving our mental health during this time. And open and learning the new courses. There are Coursera, education. There are many webinars are going around. Even today also I can say that there are around 100 webinars are going in Tamil Nadu alone. You can take part in any one of the webinar. When you engage something, you learn something new informations when you listen somebody else. So that will make you, and I think there's one study saying that when you learn something, your brain will be active. Your brain neurons will be very active. That will send the signals to another brain. And if you are active, then you are giving exercise to your brain. That's good for your mental health. And use positive affirmation in your day-to-day life. Positive affirmation. Yes, very good. You have done amazing. Yeah, you are very good in that. Beautiful. Use the positive words. You are looking so cute. What a lovely person you are. Use such a words in your day-to-day practices. When you utter these words, you can get back. Okay. So these were some of the strategies. There are many strategies are there. Due to time constraints, I'm going to stop here. There are many techniques are there to improve our mental health. I'm going to tell you a few strategies at the conclusion right now. What are the strategies you can take? One is relaxation techniques. There are many relaxation techniques. Listen music, take a walk, stretching exercise, yoga, meditation, aromatherapy. I think we are believing in a God who can use some aroma in your house. Aroma has an impact on our better mental health. Take a nutritious diet. There is a directly or indirectly responsible for our mental health. What they can say that groundnut, omega-3, fish liver oil, you can take these things. This is a supplement, food supplement that will improve our mental health. Okay. In addition to that, what are the other things you can do? I said learning, reading books, take part in online education, and interact with others. Interact with others. Find out the right friend and try to volunteer or help. Forgive. This is the time. There are many people who may be hurted you. Find out those things, and then this time you think about I'm forgiving. Say openly, open our mouth and say I forgive this thing you have done to me. Say even the person is not there. When you do these things, you are healing your inner self. It is not better for them. It is better for you. So these were the practices you can do, and time management is very important. Time scheduling, as one of the Elil told when I was asking what were the problem, time management. Yes, this time we have to develop the skill of time management for our better mental health. So I stop here, and there are many more strategies are there for improving our mental health. There are some guidelines also that I will share this PPT to the principal Dr. Vandan sir. You can get the PPT from him. If you want to have any questions, you can ask me right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to the management for giving a great opportunity to share my experience today. Thank you all. Now you will be unmuted. If you want to ask anything.
What is the important? I think if you are framing to
Yes, Kamalakannan. Yes, now we are unmuted, everyone. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Feedback link will be shared by Dr. Vendan sir. He will send you in a WhatsApp group. You can contact him his number. Through his mobile number, you can contact him. He will tell you the feedback. And thank you. Many of you on the thank you. Thank you so much. It is an informative. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Yeah. The feedback link will be shared by the Dr. Vendan. He is the principal of the college. PSC College of Education. He will share his feedback. Yes, Arukya Swami sir is here. Yeah, thank you so much. WhatsApp number. Okay, I'll share his number. This is my number 9750406463. Yeah, thank you so much. So Medilta. Dr. Kavita, Suresh Bhaskaran, Juan Priya Krishnan, Dr. Tangachelvi, Karthik, Taniga Parameswari, Dr. Veena. Not able to unmute. Somebody told me not able to unmute. Yes, you are. Can unmute yourself. I think now you can unmute yourself. You can check. Just now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Able to unmute now only. That was wonderful presentation you have given. Hope it's useful for all the teachers, and exactly like you said, we have to emphasize on our physical as well as psychological well-being, and also about the nutrition you have said. That is very, very important, because right now everyone is in lockdown period, so they might think like whatever it is, it's okay to take that food. So if nutrition always plays an important role, so we have to take care about what we eat. Thank you for emphasizing on that, and I think the participants would have many other questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Veena, for the session. And she's a doctor, and she's a professor of psychology in one of the leading medical colleges. And a speaker also for many sessions. But when I was invited her for can you come for helping me during this session, she consented. Thank you for that. On behalf of the management of PhD education and the
Thank you.
principal here. Yes. Yes, dear friends, if you have any specific questions or would like to say something, you can come unmute yourself and you can raise your hand also. Yes, Dr. Kavita. Yes. I think there is no more questions. I think they are very clear about my presentation. I think so. Anyhow, they are going to get a PPT. So we will yes.